So I need to make some piping up for a job that I'm doing, and the length of piping is, the longest piece of piping that I need is around about 130, maybe 140 inches long. So in meters, that's almost 3.5 meters long. Now, if you don't want to go out and buy 3.5 meters of fabric just to make up some piping in the correct colour that you need, you're going to have to put joins in it. So I'm going to show you the correct way of joining the fabric together to make up the piping. Now, I've cut the fabric out already, so I've got strips of fabric, and all I've done is I've used a ruler as my size of piping for the width. So as you can see, the piping is the same width as the ruler, and I've got 4 pieces here fabric that I need to join together. I'm going to make one big long piece rather than making the correct length. I'll just make it over length and cut it down to size when I'm sewing it onto the pieces that I'm sewing it onto. So you might think that joining piping is quite an easy job. It's just a simple way of putting 2 pieces of fabric together like that and then sewing them across here. But that's not the correct way to do it, because when you do that, you have quite a bulky seam here, and it's very noticeable. So what I do is I join the pieces of fabric together like that at 90 degrees. So you end up with that there. I'll do one piece and I'll show you why I do it like this and why you should do it like this. You want to put quite a small stitch on for something this small. When you're doing bigger pieces, it doesn't matter as much. So when you join the piping, what you don't want to do is sew this way like that into this here, because that will be wrong. So what you have to do is to sew it like that. So you're sewing from this corner here to this corner here. When it's opened up, you will get a diagonal seam like that. Cut off the excess. And then when you lay it flat, that's how it should look. Piping feet come in different sizes. On the side of the piping foot, you will see numbers. So that is the size of the piping. So this is 1/4 inch. That's 1/4 inch piping foot. So I'm folding the fabric over the piping cord. When I get the piping cord in the centre, folding it over, making sure both ends touch, and then holding it down with my fingers, and then just sewing. The piping foot will ride along the top of the piping. So that's the piping done. I now have 12 meters of piping there. If you need a big long piece of piping but you don't want to go out and buy a big long piece of fabric, then you buy 1 meter of the colour you need and you use the width of the fabric. So most fabrics are about 1.5 meters wide. So from the 1.5 meter width and the length of the fabric, you can get around about 40 meters of piping out from that. So it's a very economical way of making piping, rather than buying a long strip of fabric and then having loads left over that you don't need. Then just buy the 1 meter and it just saves you a lot of money. I hope you found that video useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment if you want to, and I hope to see you again. Thank you for watching. Bye.